My name's Branden Stone. I'm a crop consultant for Headwaters Flying Service in Three Forks, Montana. We're the probably one of the state's largest aerial application services, and we're here at Three Forks, Montana, actually Logan, Montana to be exact. And the crop we're looking at is certified seed potatoes. The variety is Alturas, which are kind of a light skinned potato used for the dehy market. We used AZterknot at I believe 9 ounces an acre. And what led us to that decision was we started off with a different azoxystrobin from a competitor that was not mixing well with the fertilizer products that were in the tank. In fact, it was at the other end of this field where they started having some serious filter issues to the point where they had to pull filters out. And so we decided to make the switch to AZterknot to try a different strobe that was labeled on potatoes, but moreover, we wanted to have something that had better mixability options, and it lived up to the expectations. The metering system is a surefire system in these tractors that these guys use to plant, and it's really critical they get that about as close as accurate as possible. So the AZterknot not only went through the filters and the lines better, but they metered out 100% exact, which is really hard to do anytime you have fertilizer and chemicals mixed in the same tank. But this particular field, it metered out 100%. It was banded in a 2x2 band, so it would have been in a separate tank, but down the same lines as the potato seeds were going. So it went down with the seed. There was a micronutrient package with some 1034O, which 1034O can be a problematic player in a tank, and but surprisingly, in the year before that, we had problems with another strobe that we were using. So the AZterknot became really pivotal out here to keep these guys going. Nothing's worse than trying to slow a farmer up when they're in a hurry. We were obviously about 2 weeks late this year planting potatoes because of the weather. So when they have to stop and they have to do a lot of these things with cleaning out their tanks and so forth, it slows them down and causes problems. So we were very, very, very fortunate. Oh, it's a mess. It's you got to use a lot of water, and you got to pressure wash things. You got to bring extra people down. There's a lot of filters that they have to start at one side, go to another side. So it can be time consuming up to 5 hours at times. I think just the way it went through the machines, obviously we did see increased plant health out here. These Alturas can be, finicky potatoes. So we've done very few fungicide applications since we did the in-furrow application. These readings out here are clean. Not really. I mean, I think the biological, we're getting into a time now when biologicals are becoming extremely valuable and important. We're seeing more biological use now than we ever have before. So I think that's a good thing. It was viewed as a good thing. Yeah. They're kind of new, but I mean, right now, we're working on soil health a lot around here. Because of the new crops we're raising in this area, seed potatoes are probably the most valuable, but canola is valuable. Wheat's obviously valuable. Our alfalfa grasses are valuable. So, I mean, I think, we want to make sure our soils are in great shape. We saw a lot greener mass. We saw a lot thicker root mass here. This ground here is not the best. It's river rock soil, so high pH, very low organic matter. Beautiful farm nonetheless, but this soil is tricky, and we definitely saw quicker emergences. This field emerged a little bit before, the brand X, we'll say. And so there's definitely, I think, an effect on those roots out here that were positive. On June 21st and June 22nd, it was about 28 degrees both mornings down here. The potatoes weren't very big. Normally they're a lot bigger, that time of the year than they were this year. The rows weren't touching yet. There was a little bit of black spotting out here. These potatoes recovered almost within 5 days. Normally we see that those effects last a lot longer, but AZterknot, I'm assuming the biological may have had something to do with it, but we did see a very quick recovery time. And so far this frost has not damaged it. The yield out here is really high. I mean, they're expecting over 450 sacks here. So, obviously the main pest we go after is aphids because of PVY. And, diseases, we definitely have seen blackleg in this area this year. Probably some of the more common ones obviously are Pythium problems. We want to make sure we take care of any sort of leaf spotting or any sort of, I guess the word I'm looking for is dampening off. So, the potato vines obviously carry a lot of humidity under the plants. So it's really critical for us to treat these diseases as they form. And so we are using more biologicals to stop those diseases from spreading. I mean, I haven't seen any diseases where we used AZterknot at all. This field that we're looking at here has not been sprayed with a fungicide since, the initial in-furrow applications. There was other, fungicidal, seed treatments that were used obviously for insects and things like that. But ironically, these have stayed extremely clean. I think just the health qualities. I mean, I think anytime you can benefit the health of the soil or the health of a plant, you're heading in the right direction. I think it's the new wave. I think everybody wants to protect their soils, and I think it's imperative actually that we do that. I think this the soil health is very important.